A very good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and safe with your family. Students, today we will be learning geography, and in geography we will be learning our next lesson, which is lesson number 3, and name of the lesson is tides. Before understanding what all things are there in the lesson, let me ask you all the question first. Here you can see, students, two images. So, can you tell me, are the photographs shown in the same place or both are given shown at the different places? You can see the image and you can tell me whether the photographs which are being shown, whether they are shown at the same place or they are being shown at the different places. So the correct answer is both the photographs have been shown at the same place. Second question is, observe and note the spread of water seen in both the photographs. You can see here in first picture, in first image, we can see that sea water is very close to the coast. If you will see the first image, students, you can see sea water is very close to the coast. And in second figure, students, you can see sea water is far away from the coast. First picture is very near to the coast, and in second picture it is far away from the coast. So, what it is called? What is natural event called? The natural event which you are seeing over here is nothing but it is high tide and low tide, which we are going to study in our today's lesson. So first, let me tell you all what are tides. If you stay near the coast for some time, you will realize that the sea water is very close to the coast, while at other time it is far away from the coast. Okay, students, whenever we get chance to just go through the beaches sometimes, so what we see, sometimes sea water is very close to the coast and sometimes what happen, it is very far from the coast. So we call these movements of sea water as tides. So what are these movements of sea water called as? The movements of sea water is been called as tides. High tides and low tides are natural phenomenon. Okay, so sometimes there is high tide and sometimes it is low tide, which are natural phenomenon. Moving ahead. Tides are movement of sea water occurring daily and regularly. Okay, daily it happens. It is the movement of sea water which is happening daily and regularly. The level of sea water changes after specific period of time. So what happened, the level of the sea water? After some time, after a given specific period of time, it changes. For example, here it has been given, after every 12 hours and 25 minutes, a cycle of high tide and low tide gets completed. Okay, students, so every 12 hours and 25 minutes, for example, in the morning, if it is high tide, so immediately after 12 hours and 25 minutes, that particular place only will get low tide. So this is the regularly it happens. So here we can see the level of sea water changes after a specific period of time. After what time? After every 12 hours and 25 minutes. This regularly occurring event appears to be quite simple and natural. However, it is directly related to the sun, the moon and the earth and the gravitational and centrifugal force that interact between them. So what it means? This regularly occurring event, that means high tide and low tide, it is very simple and natural, and it is directly related to what? It is directly related to sun, moon, earth and gravitational and centrifugal forces that interact between them. So now we will be learning, students, what is gravitational force and what is centrifugal force. Now students, we will learn about centrifugal force, what it is. Due to its rotation, the earth gets a type of power or force. Okay, so what happened due to the rotation? Earth is getting a type of power or force. This force work away from the center. It is called as centrifugal force. So this force is away from the center, which is called as centrifugal force. Due to this force, any object on the earth would be thrown into the space. Okay, so what happened because of this force? If we throw, okay, any object if we throw on the earth, we can directly throw into the space also because of centrifugal force. But is it possible if I'll throw something in the space, is it going to go? No, it will not go. Why it will not go? Because one more force we are having in the earth. We are having another force which is called as gravitational force. Now we will be learning it in detail. What is gravitational force? The gravitational force is working towards the center of the earth. Okay, gravitational force means what? Which is working at the center of the earth. And if you will see students over here, centrifugal force works away from the center. Okay, and gravitational force is working towards the center of the earth at the same time. This force is many times greater than the centrifugal force. So which force is greater than centrifugal force? Gravitational force is very much greater. Hence, any object on the surface of the earth remains at the place where it exists. So for example, if I am throwing a ball, okay, so again the ball will go and again it is going to come back to its place. Okay, so hence any object on the surface of the earth remains at the place where it exists. So this is what we have learned about centrifugal force and gravitational force. Moving ahead. Here students, you can see the images. Okay, you can see gravitational force and centrifugal force. If you will see G stands for gravitational. So gravitational students, it is towards the center of the earth, and outside the earth you can see it's written as C. So what is C? It is centrifugal force. So it is working away from the center. So it is called as centrifugal force. So now we are going to learn again a new thing which is called as what are the factors responsible for the occurrence of tides. So why it is happening? So what for it is happening? What are the factors responsible? Here some points have been given. First one is the gravitational pull of the moon and sun as well that of the earth. So because of gravitational pull of moon, sun as well of the earth, occurrence of tide happens. This is the first one. Second one, due to revolution of the earth around the sun and indirect revolution of the moon around the sun. Okay, so what is the second point? What is the factor? Second point is due to revolution of the earth around the sun and due to indirect revolution of the moon around the sun. Because of this, occurrence of tides takes place. And the last point is centrifugal force generated due to rotation of the earth. Due to earth's rotation, centrifugal force gets generated. Because of this, occurrence of tides takes place. Now students, we will learn the same thing in the picture which has been given, occurrence of tides. You can see students, it's given high tide and it is given low tide. We can see image of moon. We can also see gravitational force and centrifugal force. The moon is closer to the earth than the sun. Hence its gravitational force becomes more effective than that of the sun. Moon is closer to whom? Moon is closer to earth than the sun. So because it is closer to the earth than the sun, so its gravitational force is more effective than that of the sun. Whose? Moon's. Tides occur due to relative positions of moon, sun and the earth. How does tides occur? It occurs due to the relative positions of moon, sun and the earth. A place on the earth located at the opposite point of the place experiencing high or low tide also experiences high or low tide respectively at the same time. If you will see here again the students the image, you can see here high tide is there and the opposite side is also having the high tide. If you will see above the north pole what is given low tide, so down of that also it has been given as low tide. So what it means, opposite side also experiences the same kind of tide. Moving ahead. When there is high tide at 0 degree meridian, the 180 degree meridian also experiences high tide. The meridians that are at the right angles to those having high tide will experience low tide at the same time. So what it means, students? So for example, here if it is given as 0 degree meridian, so this 180 degree meridian also experiences the high tide. Okay, then what is given in the second point? The meridians that are at the right angle to those having high tide will also experience low tide at the same time. Okay, right angle means, students, like this. Okay, so here if it is high tide, so the right angle here also they will be experiencing the low tide at the same time. So this it means. So now we will take a quick recap, students, of what we have learned in our today's video. What are tides? Tides are movement of the sea water occurring daily and regularly. So what are tides? These are the movements of sea water which is occurring daily and regularly. After every 12 hours and 25 minutes, a cycle of high tide and low tide gets completed. So after every 12 hours and 25 minutes, what happens? A cycle of high tide and low tide, it gets completed. Due to its rotation, the earth gets a type of power or force. So due to its rotation, what happened? Earth is getting a kind of power or force. This force works away from the center. It is called as centrifugal force. So this kind of force which works away from the center is called as centrifugal force, and the gravitational force is working towards the center of the earth. Centrifugal means what? Which is away from the center, and gravitational means what? Which is working towards the center of the earth at the same time. There are different factors which are responsible for the occurrence of tides. Tides occur due to the relative position of moon, sun and the earth. So how tides occur? Because of relative position of moon, sun and the earth. A place on earth located at the opposite point of the place experiencing high or low tide also experiences high or low tide respectively at the same time. Okay, so if it is high tide, so opposite side also will get the high tide, and if it is low tide, the opposite side also will get the low tides respectively at the same time. When there is high tide at 0 degree meridian, the 180 degree meridian also experiences high tide. Okay, so when there is high tide at 0 degree meridian, the opposite side, that is 180 degree meridian, will also experience high tide at the same time. The meridians that are at right angles to those having high tide will experience low tide at the same time. So the meridians which are at the right angles to whom? To having those having the high tide, what will happen? They will experience low tide at the same time. I hope, students, tides, everything must be clear to you all. If any doubt is there, I request everyone to just go through the video once again. And thank you so very much. A very good morning, dear children. I hope you all are fine and safe with your family. Students, today in geography, we will be learning about the same lesson which we have continued in our previous video, that is tides, which is our lesson number 4. Students, if you remember, in our previous video, we have learned what are tides. We have also learned in detail about centrifugal and gravitational force. Today students, we will be learning about types of tides, and we will be also learning in detail what are the effects of tide. So first we will be learning about type of tides. As the timings of the tide varies every day, the range of a tide also keeps on changing. So what happens students? As the timings of the tide varies, that means it is not at the same time every day. So because it is not at the same time every day, the range of a tide also keeps on changing. Because of this, what happened? The range of a tide also keeps on changing. Generally, the high tide occurs on full moon and new moon day, whereas on the days of first and third quarter, the high tide is at its minimum. Mostly what happens? Generally the high tides occurs on when it occurs during full moon and new moon day, whereas on days of first and third quarter, the high tide is at its minimum. Types of tides. The first one is spring tide and next one is students nip tide. First we will be learning in detail about spring tide, what it is. On new moon and full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and moon act in the same direction. What happens? What it means? During new moon and full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and moon, they both act in the same direction. Because of this, what happens? The total pull increases. Because sun and moon act in the same direction, so what happens? The total pull increases. Hence, the tide on these days is much higher than the average high tide. This is what called as student spring tide. Okay, so because of this, what happens? The tide on these days is much higher than the average high tide, and this is what called as a spring tide. We will be learning in the way of the diagram being given, students. Here you can see clearly the image of the spring tide. Okay, here you can see students sun is there. Here you can see moon is there. Here you can see the earth is there. So now what happened? And you can see sun and the moon are in the same direction. Okay students, which we have already told you all. Now, as the bulge of the high tide is greater. Bulge means what students? This. Okay, as the bulge of the high tide is greater, the water at the low tide recedes much more. Okay, so because the bulge is greater, so what happens? The water at the low tide recedes much more. Here you can see low tide. Okay, the water level during the spring tide is higher than the average high tide and lower than the average low. So this is what been given over here. As the see students, we have already seen in the diagram, as the bulge at the high tide is greater, the water at the low tide recedes much more. The water level during the spring tide is higher than the average high tide and lower than the average low. Okay students, so this is what the spring tide. I hope students it must be clear to you all. Yes students, now we have already learned about in detail about the spring tide. Now we will be learning in detail about the nip tide. What is nip tide? While revolving around the earth, the moon makes a right angle with respect to the earth and the sun twice a month. So when the moon revolves around the earth, it makes a right angle with respect to the earth and sun twice a month. That means 2 times in a month it happens. This position occurs on the first and third quarter of each month. So when it happens like this, it happens on the first and third quarter of each month. On both these days, the forces of both sun and moon operate at right angle on the earth. So both these days what happened? The forces of sun and the moon, they operate at a right angle on the earth. We can see here the image has been given, students. Here you can see sun is there, here you can see moon is there, and here you can see student earth is there. Okay, if you will look into the picture clearly, you will see moon is much closer as compared to the sun to the earth. Okay students, now what happened? Now what happens, student? Sun's pull is from this side and the moon pull is from the this side. Okay, since moon is closer to the earth, its pull will be stronger than the sun. Okay students, because it is closer, so pull will be stronger as compared to the sun. At the places where the sun causes high tide, the gravitational pull of the moon, which is at the right angle, also acts on the sea water. Due to such condition, the water level rises is less than usual at the time of high tide. Similarly, fall in water level is less than usual at the time of low tide. So what happens, students? The places where the sun causes high tide, the gravitational pull of the moon is at the right angle. We have already seen in the picture, students, the diagram which was being shown to you all. Okay, due to such condition, the water level rise is less than usual at the time of high tide, and similarly fall in water level is less than usual at the time of the low tide. This is because the attraction of the sun and the moon are not complementary but at the right angle to each other. So if you remember spring tide, students, that was in the same line. Okay, but here it is not like that. These are at the right angle. This is at the right angle. Because of the right angle it is happening, so such kind of a tide is called as a nip tide. Nip tides are little lower than the average high tide and a little higher than the average low tide. Okay students, so this is what we have learned, students, about the nip tide. Now students, we will be learning, we have already learned in detail about spring tide. We have also learned about the nip tide. We have seen both of the tides diagram. Now we will be learning in detail about the effects of tide. What happen after tides when it take place. With the high tide, fish moves into the creeks and this helps the fishing activity. So when after high tide, what happened? Fish comes near the creeks. When it comes near the creek, what happened? It is very helpful for the fishing activity. So fishing activity takes place. The tides clear the waste and hence the coast becomes clean. Second point is what happens, students? Because of the tides, the waste gets it clear, hence the coast become clean. Okay, the tides clear the waste and hence the coast becomes clean. Third point, ports do not get filled with sediments. Sediment, you can say, students, rocks, you can say pebbles. So because of the tides, what happened? Ports do not get filled with sediments. Fourth point, ships can move up to the ports during high tide. So during high tide, what happened? Ships can move up towards the port. When it had happened? Only during the high tide. Next point, what is the effect of tide? During high tide, sea water can be stored in salt pans from which salt can be obtained. Okay, during high tide, what happens, students? Sea water can be stored in salt pans from where we can get salts. Okay, next. The tidal force can be used to generate electricity. So tidal force is what? It is a force of a tide. So it can be used to generate electricity. Next, a lack of understanding of the timings of high tide and low tide may cause accidents to swimmers entering the sea. So we should, if before entering to the sea, we should have a clear idea whether it is high tide or low tide. So lack of understanding also may cause accidents, students, to swimmers. Okay, so this we have to keep in mind. Next, the tide helps in maintaining the mangrove and the coastal biodiversity. So this type help in maintaining the mangrove and the coastal biodiversity. So let's recap, students, what we have learned in our today's video. On the new moon and the full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon act in the same direction. Due to this, the total pull increases. Hence, the tide on these days is much higher than the average high tide. So this is what called as a spring tide. Next, we have also learned about niptide, students. While revolving around the earth, the moon makes a right angle with respect to the earth and the sun twice a month. This position occurs on the first and third quarter of each month. On both these days, the forces of both the sun and the moon operate at right angles on the earth. This is what called as niptide. And after learning about spring and niptide, we have learned in detail about the effects of tide. I hope, students, the doubt must be clear to you all. If any doubt is again there, you can again go through the video and get it clear. Thank you very much. A very good morning, dear children. I hope you all are fine and safe with your family. Students, today in geography, we will be doing the same lesson which we have done in our previous videos, and that is lesson number 3, and the name of the lesson is tides. Students, if you remember, in our previous video, we have learned in detail about spring tide, nip tide and effects of tide. Students, today in this video, we will be learning in detail about timings of the tides change daily. We will also be learning in detail about waves, its structure, velocity and in detail about tsunami. Do you know the difference in the water level of the high tide and the low tide is called as tidal range. In open seas, this range is about 30 centimeter. However, towards the coastal areas, it goes on increasing. Along the coast of peninsular India, the range is around 100 to 150 centimeter for most of the part. The highest tidal range in the world is observed at Bay of Fundy along the Atlantic coast of North America. Here the tidal range is about 1600 centimeter. In India, the highest tidal range is in the Gulf of Kambhat. It is about 1100 centimeter. Timings of the tides change daily. So the topic which we are going to learn now, students, is timings of the tides that change daily. As we know, students, the tides are continuously occurring phenomenon. It means what, students? Continuously tides occur. It is regular phenomenon. After reaching the maximum water level during the high tide, low tide sets in. It means what? After reaching the maximum water level during high tide, what happens when it reaches the maximum water level? Immediately after that, the low tide sets in. Similarly, after reaching the lowest water level during low tide, the high tide sets in. Here, students, you can see the diagram which is been given, and the name of the figure is 3.9. Why do tide timings change daily? With the help of a diagram, we can come to know how is it possible the tide timing change daily. Okay, students? Now, just pay attention while explaining. There will be high tide at point P as it is opposite to the moon. Okay, students, you can see P is opposite to F. Okay, student, P is opposite to the moon. Okay, students, now as point F is opposite at an antipodal location to point P, it will also experience high tide at the same time. Okay, students, so point F is also going to experience high tide when point P is going to experience high tide. It will take 24 hours for point P to come back to the original position. Point P will be at point F after 12 hours, that is 180 degree. So point P, when it will reach to point F, it will reach after 12 hours and again it will come back to its original place after 24 hours. The same change will also occur with reference to the point F. Point F will not experience the same high tide because in the meanwhile the moon would also have moved a little ahead, approximately 6 degree 15 minutes. Hence, it will take 25 minutes more for the point F to come to the position opposite to the moon. After 12 hours 25 minutes, F will arrive opposite to the moon and it will experience high tide. Point P opposite to F will also experience high tide. Later again, after 12 hours and 25 minutes, point P1 will experience high tide as it is in the front of the moon. There will be high tide at F12 as shown in figure 3.9. There is high tide and low tide twice a day, that is 24 hours generally. Okay students, so there is high tide and low tide twice in a day. The time difference between two high tide is of 12 hours and 25 minutes. What is the time difference students? The time difference between two high tide is of 12 hours 25 minutes. I hope students this much must be clear to you all. Now students, we will be learning in detail about waves. We all have heard about waves. Now I am going to tell you all what are waves. If you blow air over hot milk or tea while drinking, ripples are generated on the milk or the tea. Okay students, that is correct. When we blow some over hot milk or tea while drinking, what happens after that? Ripples are generated on the milk or on the tea. In the same way, because of the force of the wind, water appears to be moving. Okay, so same way what happened? Same way, because of the force of the wind, water also appears to be moving. The sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface. These are called as waves. So what are waves students? The sea water which gets pushed by the winds and then ripples are generated on the water surface. These things are called as waves. Here students, if you will look into the figure, that is 3.10, you can see the image of waves coming to the coast. The sea water moves up and down or slightly forward and backward due to the waves. What happened to the sea water? What happens due to the waves to the sea water? It moves up, it moves down, sometimes it moves forward and sometimes slightly it comes backward. Why it happens? It happens due to the waves. The waves bring the energy contained in them to the coast. So what wave does? It brings the energy contained in them to the coast. They break in the shallow waters near the coast. Large or small waves are formed continuously at the surface of the sea. So what are formed continuously at the surface of the sea? Large or small waves. Generation of waves is a natural and regular occurring phenomenon. Okay, so generation of the waves is a natural and regularly it happens. It is a natural and regular occurring phenomenon. Structure of waves. Now we will be learning students. The sea water gets pushed up and down because of wind. Okay, so what happened due to wind? The sea water get pushed up and down. The raised up portion of a wave is called as a crest and the depressed one is called as a it is called as a trough. Okay, so the raised one portion of the wave, what we called it as? We called it as crest. And the depressed one, what we called it as? We called this as a trough. If a strong wind is blowing in one direction, large waves are being generated. Okay, if a strong wind is blowing in continuously in one direction only, so what will happen after that? What is going to happen? Large waves will be generated. Here students, you can see the image, that is figure number 3.11, and the name of the figure students is the structure of a wave. Here students, you can see crest is there, trough is there, wavelength is there, and then amplitude of wave is also there. So what it is? Now I am going to tell in detail. The vertical distance between a crest and the following trough is called as the amplitude of the wave. So what is amplitude of the wave? The vertical distance between whom? Between crest and the following trough. So whatever vertical distance between crest and falling trough is there, that is called as amplitude of the wave. Whereas the distance between two successive crest or trough is called as wavelength. So what is wavelength? The distance between two successive crest or troughs, it is called as wavelength. The wavelength, its amplitude and its velocity depend on the velocity of the wind. So what all the things are dependent on velocity of the wind? The wavelength, its amplitude and its velocity. These things depend on the velocity of the wind. Now students, we will be learning in detail what we called as velocity of the waves. If we stand at the coast, we feel the waves are coming towards the coast. Okay, sometimes students, what happen when we are standing near the coast? What we see, what we feel that the waves are coming towards the coast. They are coming towards us. And that time what happens? If a floating object is thrown at a distance in the sea, we find the object moving up and down at the same time. Then what happens if we throw anything, any floating object, if we throw at the distance in the sea, what we find? We find that particular object what we have thrown, it is moving up and down at the same place. It does not come to the coast. It means the water forming the waves also does not come to the coast. So what happened? That it means that water forming the waves also does not come to the coast. Remember that water in the wave does not move. What move is the energy. Okay students, so what we have learned in this, that water in the wave doesn't move, but what thing moves? The thing which moves is nothing but it is an energy. Reasons of wave generation. The main reason of wave generation is wind. Okay, so what is the main reason of wave generation? It is nothing but it is wind. At times, waves are also generated due to earthquakes or volcanic eruptions occurring below the floor of the sea. Sometimes what happens students? Waves are also generated due to earthquakes or volcanic eruption that happens below the floor of the sea. Now students, we will be learning the most important part in detail, which is called as tsunami. We all must have heard about it. Okay, so what exactly tsunami is? We will come to know after reading this. What is tsunami? Destructive waves of great height that are generated due to earthquakes or volcanic eruptions occurring below the flow of the sea are called as tsunami. Okay students, so what is tsunami? Destructive waves of great height which is being generated due to either earthquake or volcanic eruptions occurring below the floor of the sea is called as tsunami. Tsunami waves cause huge loss of property and life. After tsunami, what happened? What as the after effect of that? It has a huge loss of property and life. That means properties also have been destroyed and it harms life also. In 2004, tsunami waves were generated because of the earthquake that took place near Sumatra Island of Indonesia. They devastated the east coast of India as well as Sri Lanka. So what happened in 2004, students? Tsunami waves were being generated because of earthquake that has taken place in Indonesia, okay, near Sumatra Island. What happened because of that? It not only destroyed, damaged that place, but it devastated east coast of India also as well as Sri Lanka. At the time of risk of tsunamis, it is better to go away from the coast or towards high altitudes. This way, loss of life can be avoided. So whenever there is risk of tsunamis, always it has been told that we should not go near, we should be away from the coast, or we should go towards the high altitude. So this way what is going to happen? The loss of life can be avoided. So what are the effects of waves? The waves cause erosion along the headlands. What is headlands, students? Headlands is nothing but it is a narrow piece of land that projects from a coastline into the sea. So the waves cause erosion along the headlands. They create beaches in the protected locations in the bays. Do you know, students, while moving along the sea coast or playing in the water, we must take adequate care regarding the timings of the tide. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, it will lead to serious accidents. For that time, we should know about the timings of the tides. For this, you must know the phase of the moon on the given day. 3/4 of the phase of the moon is the time of high tide. For example, suppose you are at the coast on the 4th phase of the moon, then 3/4 of the phase is 3. It means the high tide will occur at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. and approximately 6 hours from it, that is 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. will be the low tide. There may be slight differences according to local conditions. We must collect the information from local people and learn from them about the structure of the coast, its slope, rocky areas, as well as the streams near the coast before entering the sea waters for enjoyment. So let's recap, students, what we have learned in our today's video. We have learned in detail about timings of the tide which change daily. We have also learned about waves, then structure of the waves, velocity of waves, and at the end we learned about tsunamis. I hope, students, this much must be clear to you all. With the end of this video, students, we are completing with this lesson, that is lesson number 3 of geography, and the name of the lesson is tide. I hope, students, the doubts must be clear, and if there is any of the doubt, you can again go through the video and get it clear. Thank you so very much.